This conference will
Hello,
now be
everyone.
recorded.
Hello, everyone. This is Amelia Pismay. I'm Interim Executive Director at USBC, and we're so delighted to have you all for the Cultural Changemaker orientation call today.
Wonderful. Thanks, Amelia. Miriam?
Hi, everyone. This is Miriam Rodriguez. I'm the Coalition Relations Coordinator, and I'm really excited to connect with you today.
Thank you, Miriam. And this is Kinkini Banerjee. I'm the Coalition Relations Director at USBC, and I think I've spoken with all of you on the phone. And it's we're absolutely thrilled and delighted on behalf of USBC to honor you with this award. And we can't wait to meet you in DC next week. So welcome, everyone. This is a quick agenda. We'll do a quick a round of introductions for everyone. We'll share a little bit about USBC's history and then about the schedule of events that you're there, your travel schedule, or the different days of the advocacy day, the membership meeting, the conference, and then we have some time for question answers with you. We want to share an exciting update about a project and give you time to ask questions. So with that, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? Tell us your name. We know what award you got, but so tell us about either your organization you represent, your coalition, tribe, or your city, part of the country where you're coming from. So in any order, go ahead and we'd love to hear from you. Rosalba, do you want to go first? I may help if we call on folks. Rosalba?
I think she's trying. Sorry, go ahead.
This is Alpha. I don't know if you want me to go.
Go for it.
I'll do it. Okay, my name's Alpha Quintana, and I am actually in New Mexico, but where I live is I'm so close, about 10 miles from Mexico, from Juarez, Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, and like 2 miles or something, or even less, depending on how you look at it. I live in a town, it's Anthony, but it's a town in 2 states. So it's in New Mexico. There's Anthony, New Mexico, and Anthony, Texas. I live on the New Mexico side, but I go shopping and everything on the Texas side. So for us, working binationally is very important. And so that's a lot of my work that I do. I am the state coordinator for the WIC, Breastfeeding Peer Counselor program in New Mexico. And I also, I retired from state government in 2013. So I'm actually contracted by the New Mexico Department of Health, the WIC program. I'm also the instructor for their certification course for them to get certified as community health workers. So I provide that too. And I'm a member of the New Mexico Breastfeeding Task Force and a member of the Binational Breastfeeding Coalition in El Paso. And so we partner together to put a presentation, Sisters on the Border, and that's what we will be presenting at USBC.
Welcome, Elsa. We are so excited to have you be part of that. And for anyone who's joined on the phone, if you can click or your audio, if you can click on the audio tab and make sure that the right selection is highlighted over there. So if you're on phone, make sure that you're clicking on the phone, because otherwise you're getting feedback through the phone as well as the computer audio if your computer audio is highlighted. So if you can do that, and also we'd love to hear all your work. But when you're not speaking, if you can mute your lines, then the feedback and the static will be much less. So wonderful, Elsa. Who wants to go next?
Excuse me, can you hear me? This is Rosalba. I just got on the phone.
Rosalba, we can hear you.
I thank God. Okay. I'm sorry. There's something wrong with my computer, and so that's why I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. So if you like, I would go next. My name is Rosalba Solguin, and I live in El Paso, and on the weekends I live in Fun. My parents' house is over there, and we work like Elsa binationally. And I am a member of the Binational Breastfeeding Coalition. I'm a past president, and I'm currently the outreach officer. And I work for the Alliance of Border Collaboratives, and I sit on the board of the New Mexico Breastfeeding Task Force. I believe that you're preaching to the choir of all the stuff that we do in breastfeeding, but one of the things why I'm going to the meeting is that I'm doing a tabletop presentation on a study that we conducted with NMSU that was conducted here in El Paso, that we wanted to measure the intent of breastfeeding in women after they received an education session on the protective measures that breastfeeding gives to breast cancer. And we have the data, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And also very excited because we just were informed that we have phase 2. So it was very encouraging because in phase 1, the women said that given this new information that if they would have another baby, they would breastfeed. They would breastfeed. But now we're going to give this intervention to pregnant women and then follow them. And it's the only thing is it's 1 year. So we're going to follow them at 3 months to see if they actually do breastfeed. So we're very excited with that new award. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I look forward to making new partnerships. And thank you for the award. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Wow, congratulations, Rosalba. That's great. And we'll definitely be promoting all of the table topics and looking forward to hearing about it too. So welcome. Tiffany, can we go next?
Yeah, can you hear me? This is Tiffany.
Yes, Tiffany.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. This is Tiffany Bauya. I am from Minnesota. I am part of the Home Breastfeeding Initiative, and I'm actually a recent graduate from the University of Minnesota School of Public Health. I studied maternal and child health, and this past year, for my field experience, I worked with the Minnesota Breastfeeding Coalition and also the Minnesota Department of Health WIC program on the Home Breastfeeding Initiative. And we started this initiative because we saw some WIC data that showed that the Hmong population had one of the lowest breastfeeding rates in the initiation and duration rates in the state of Minnesota. And so we decided to reach out to the Hmong community and we first started off with some listening sessions, or kind of just like some informal interviews, and we talked with some Hmong WIC peers, breastfeeding peers, some Hmong providers. We also got together with a group of Hmong elders, and we also got in contact with the first and only Hmong IBCLC in the United States, and she's from California, so we were able to Skype call her. Yeah, Yang her.
She's close friend. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, she's incredible. We we were able to learn from her perspective and also hear just a little bit about her experience with breastfeeding in the Hmong community in California. So it was really awesome. And Kinkini, did you say that you knew her?
She's been with WIC? Yang has been. Was that your question? How did I meet her?
Oh, or I was just wondering if it was you who said that you know her, or
yes, it was from California, and some of the work that Yang has done with the Hmong population in the Sacramento region is just phenomenal. She is the first Hmong IBCLC in the country. A wonderful person. She's a poet, and is just an amazing poet as well. So thank you.
And I guess what we're kind of just doing right now with our initiative from our listening sessions, we hosted what we call an equity action lab this past March, in which we invited the Hmong community to come and look through our notes that we got from our listening sessions, and we created some breastfeeding messages and some breastfeeding project ideas from them. And we just recently conducted our photo contest in the Hmong community, and that was a success. And right now we just received a grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield to work on some breastfeeding educational videos for Hmong elders and Hmong fathers. And so right now we're working on that. But that's just kind of a snippet of what we've been up to. And I also just want to say thank you so much for the award. And yeah, that's me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tiffany. We're so inspired. We're reading all of your applications and hearing about your work. Jacqueline, if you're on the line, would you like to share?
Yes, I can share. My name is Jacqueline Lambert. I work currently right now. I work with the Mississippi WIC breastfeeding program here in the Mississippi Delta area. I'm also a member of the Delta Breastfeeding Coalition that we've recently started here. And so we're working on bridging, the communities and things like that, as well as helping our moms to increase their duration for breastfeeding as well. So that's just a little snippet about me.
Wonderful. We had a pretty big review committee that was looking at the award applications, and we got many applications. Each one of you who is here today, we can't tell you, our reviewers were blown away by the work you do. So thank you for all that you do. So we can welcome Jacqueline. Who's next? Who would like to go next?
This is Libby in El Paso.
Wonderful. Go ahead, Libby.
Shall I go next? I'm sorry, I'm hearing a lot of reverberation.
Someone on the phone who's having a feedback.
Is this better? No, there's still a lot of feedback. Well, this is Libby, and Rosalba and Elsa pretty much spoke for us. I'm the secretary of the Binational Breastfeeding Coalition, and we have been spending the last year really pumping up our lecture series, because we are in an educational desert. We're in a real desert, but we're also in an educational desert. And so we've been bringing speakers to the border. And the one coming up next week, actually right after we get back, is Jack Newman, which is huge for us because we have, we're nowhere. People don't come here. So this is big. And we're able to give, through our connection with Elsa and the work that she does in New Mexico, we were able to confer credits for physicians and nurses, and also IBLCE credits. So it's been a wonderful collaboration, and the presentation that we're going to do, called Sisters on the Border, will discuss at length what we're doing.
Welcome, Libby. I think Caitlin is on the call, right? Caitlin, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want?
Sure.
Caitlin?
Yeah, I can go ahead. Okay, so my name is Kate Tuttle, and I am in Southeast Ohio. I'm the membership chair for the Appalachian Breastfeeding Network, and our mission is to work towards transformation of breastfeeding culture in Appalachia, and that's like by empowerment and education to increase access to care. We've got a few things going on. We've got a hospital education initiative, trying to get into hospitals and work with, hospitals that want to go forward with their baby-friendly organization or designation. Sorry, my husband was talking to me, telling me he's trying to go next door and get our son. And I'm an IBCLC, CLC, CLS. I work in the local WIC office. I work at another local hospital that is in phase 3 of going baby friendly, so that's a little stressful. But I really enjoy it. So, and I'm excited to meet everyone next week and kind of find my home with USBC. So I'm excited.
Wonderful. Welcome, Caitlin. I know, is Carmen on the line?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi, Carmen.
Well, I'm Carmen from Puerto Rico. I belong to the coalition called ASI, or Alimentación Segura Infantil, which in Spanish, in English, it means secure infant feeding. We are a coalition made of IBCLCs, counselors, doulas, and first responders. We formed after Maria. We were hit by 2 hurricanes in less than 2 weeks. Category 5 hurricanes, and since then up to this moment we formed 18 support groups, breastfeeding and parenting support groups around the island. We have 38 towns, so we cover already around 18. I won the Cultural Coalition Award. Can you hear me?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Hello?
Your audio was cutting in and out a little bit, but yeah, thank you. Can you hear us, Carmen?
Excuse me?
You can hear
Can
us?
me?
Your audio was cutting in and out
I
a
can
little.
hear you.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to repeat myself?
Did folks get a sense from Carmen? We lost you for a little bit. It was kind of sounding robotic for a bit. Try one more time. Let's see if we can hear now. Just some.
Okay.
Short.
Okay, I'm Carmen Cabrera from Puerto Rico. I belong to the coalition called ASI, Alimentación Segura Infantil. Do you hear me well?
We can hear you. We are hearing voices in the background. If you're not,
that's why.
If people can mute their lines, please, if you're not speaking. Yeah, go ahead, Carmen.
ASI means in English, secure infant feeding. And we have IBCLCs, peer counselor, doulas, and first responders. We were formed after Hurricane Maria. We were hit, the island of Puerto Rico was hit by 2 hurricanes in less than 2 weeks. Hurricane Maria, we went 150 years back in time overnight. And we formed a coalition and started helping families and forming support groups around the island. We have 78 towns and we have support groups in 18 of them. I won the Cultural Coalition Award, and we'll be presenting how not to violate the code during an emergency. From our experience, how we worked with breastfeeding and non-breastfeeding babies during the emergency.
Thank you, Carmen. That will be, each of your sessions for those of you who are presenting will be invaluable to our network and to the attendees. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who hasn't introduced yet? Miriam, I think we got ever. Is there anyone who hasn't introduced yet?
I think that's
No?
everybody that's on the line, unless anybody new has come in.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks again. And we wanted to do a little bit of a history and purpose of USBC. The United States Breastfeeding Committee has international roots. So in some form or the other, there have been work happening in organizations, national organizations doing work in breastfeeding for some time. So there were earlier iterations of USBC, but in 1991, the World Health Organization in Rome had a gathering and did what's called an Innocenti Declaration, where they said every country should have a committee devoted to breastfeeding, and that, with protecting, promoting, and supporting breastfeeding. So from that Innocenti Declaration, there were some guiding principles for that about, 10 steps to breastfeeding, about the marketing of breast milk substitute, and also about the rights of breastfeeding of working women. So those were some of the founding principles, and USBC came into being in 1998. So we are celebrating our we celebrated our 20th anniversary in 2018. We are a group. This is, if you go to our website, you'll see this is our framework. So USBC convenes stakeholders from across the birth and breastfeeding field in the first food field to work on policy and practice changes. So we convene folks, and these are our goals. We are the national collective voice for breastfeeding, and that is kind of what we do. Is we our membership, as well as stakeholders from outside, help us prioritize what the priority areas are. We advance support for funding for the organization. We align um, priorities, and we are the backbone organization. And our structure is, there's a very large field of first food field of folks from the grassroots to the treetops, and you are such a vital part of the first food field. The USBC bodies, within the USBC bodies, we have our board and our staff team. You'll see we are a pretty small staff team, and then we have our member organizations, and the member organizations are formed of national member organizations, regional level member organizations, community-based organizations, as well as coalitions of all sizes, state, local. And then we have constellations, which are work groups where people convene together on specific issues and topics. They develop priorities and work on policy changes. So we have some topic specific constellations, and then we have some committees that help USBC to do, to function internally, as well as in service of the field and our membership. So this is like very high level structure of USBC and what we do, but when you apply it to become for the Cultural Change Board, you must have created an individual login account. So go check out our website. You will get a lot of information over there. So we want to orient you specifically to what's, a little bit to our organization. Really diverse board. So our awardees are usually join continue the partnership with USBC in some form or the other. This is really a wonderful pipeline for leadership. So many of our awardees are serving on key USBC committees, our equity committee, our conference program planning committee, our membership committee, and then we also have our awardees on the board. So Kimberly Moore Salas, she's from the Navajo Nation. She was one of the first recipients of our award, and now she's serving on the USBC board. You can see our staff team here, Amelia, myself, we have, and you can see Miriam right here on the second from right on the bottom row. So you have got a lot of emails and, support and help and communication from Miriam, but we are really we'd love, as we are looking at your pictures and remembering your faces, we are really looking forward to meeting you when you get to DC. So our network is more than 90 organizations. We have, so it's a NACO, as I said, it's a coalition, national coalition of coalitions. And so members like the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association, ACOG, breastfeeding coalitions like ASI, like the Delaware Breastfeeding Coalition, Nevada Breastfeeding Coalitions, cultural coalitions, community, county-based coalitions are all members. So we have about 90 organizations. And when you come to DC, you will be part of our USBC membership meeting as well. So you will get to meet many of the other member reps as well. So let's do a quick overview of our schedule of events, and I'm going to turn it over to Miriam now.
Okay, great. So now we're going to go over the conference and Advocacy Day membership meeting and what's going to happen, how to prepare, who will be there, and all those details. So this is a map of the metro station that you will all be arriving to. The blue star that you see here is where the hotel is located, and any of the arrows show the airports that are in the surrounding areas. So this is a really easy system to follow, and when you all arrive, you will be able to navigate this, and if you have any questions, you can definitely let us know. So most of you will be arriving on Tuesday, June 11th. On Wednesday, we're having Advocacy Day, that's 10 to 3 p.m. Thursday is the membership meeting from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Friday and Saturday are the conference days. And most of you are going to be departing on Saturday, June 16th. There are some variations. Some people are arriving a little later or leaving a little later. And if you want to go over that information, we can definitely do so. So Advocacy Day is on Wednesday the 12th from 10 to 3 p.m. and we are going to be meeting our legislators on Capitol Hill. A group of us is going to be going over to the Hill at 9:30 a.m. Lunch will be on your own, and if you want to connect with any of our staff members, you can definitely do that, and we can pair you up with a lunch buddy, or if you need a lunch buddy, we are more than happy to have lunch with you. We're going to have a group heading back at approximately 3 p.m. However, that is a free day for the rest of the afternoon. So if you want to visit museums or go sightseeing, that's definitely up to you, and you can head back to the hotel whenever you're ready. So appointments with your representatives, if you have one, that's great, and we will definitely help you get there. And if you have any questions, if you don't have an appointment or we're not able to make an appointment with your representative, you can also do a drop-off of the packets that we will provide for you, and we can assist you with that as well. We also had the policy briefing yesterday. If you weren't able to make it, we are going to attach the link, and we can send you an email with that link as well. And I'll turn it over to Kinkini now to go over the membership meeting.
Great. Thank you, Miriam. So Thursday is the membership meeting, and the membership meeting is from 10 to 5. Breakfast will be served in the morning, so you can come in around 9 o'clock. That's when the reg desk will open. Sign in, get your name badge, and when you sign in, you will be able to register for both the membership meeting as well as the conference. You'll get a name badge with a pretty ribbon. All awardees will have a special ribbon so that the conference attendees know who the awardees are. So there's a first time attendee meeting and orientation from 9 to 9:55. So though you've got a little bit of an orientation to the event, so this is an optional event for you, but we invite you to come, grab your breakfast, bring your plate into the ballroom, and it's a great way to meet the USBC leadership and other first-time attendees. And mostly this event really focuses on what's going to happen at the meeting and what you need to know to get the most out of your attendance at the meeting. So again, the most important thing to remember though is that when the USBC membership meeting is over, there is an networking session from 5:15 to 6, and I want to flag that all awardees are invited to the terrace room for a meeting as well as a focus group discussion. We'd love to hear from you. Next slide, please. And I'll quickly go over the membership meeting agenda. Like I said, it's from 10 to 5, so optional if you come for the first time attendee breakfast, that's from 9 to 9:55, and immediately after that, the official USBC membership meeting opens. It'll begin with the government member reports. USBC has a number of government agencies who are members, like the Centers for Disease Control, Maternal Child Health Bureau of the HRSA, the Office of Women's Health, National Institutes of Health, USDA, WIC program, Federal Food and Drug Administration. So it's really exciting to hear from our member organizations about what's on the horizon in terms of breastfeeding, where some of the funding is, what their issue priorities are. So this is a very key part of the meeting, and we open with that. We'll hear a little bit about legislation and policy updates during the morning session, and then lunch will be served to all attendees, and we will also have some table topic discussions that will be part of the networking lunch. After that, there's an annual business meeting, and during this time, you can have some downtime. If you want to step out, you're welcome to. You can go to your rooms and rest for a little bit, or you can go out for a bit. We do want you to, though, keep in mind that no matter where you go, that on Thursday evening, 5:15, we need you back at the hotel for the awardee meeting in the terrace room. Next slide, please. And then we come to the conference. So Friday and Saturday, June 14th and 15th is the conference. And if you haven't already visited the website, please check it out, www.usbreastfeeding.org/2019-NBCC. You'll also see it on the top bar. Just click on the conference. There's a tab for conference. And check out the program schedule, there's hotel information, there's an awards page, so it's very exciting. We have an awards page with all of your pictures and bios, so be sure to check those out and also connect with us on Facebook. Next slide, please. And this conference, we have a fabulous conference program committee that's put a lot of thought into designing the conference. We've had many proposals submitted, including some of yours. So this conference has a combination of full group learning sessions where we come together in the morning. We are in the main ballroom as a full group, and then we break out into sessions, breakout rooms to hear some peer sharing, and then we always close by coming back into the main room. So it's a really great combination of full group sessions, learning, peer sharing. We also have a bunch of side events. So we have a very exciting exhibit, exhibitor and posters sessions as well. So we'd like you to be part of that. We have networking lunches and receptions, and we have award ceremonies. And I am going to pass it over to Miriam.
Thanks, Kinkini. So for the award ceremonies, if you look at the program, you will notice that there are 2 award ceremonies, one on Friday and one on Saturday. We do ask that all awardees attend both ceremony days. For you cultural changemakers, the ceremony where you will be able to walk on the stage is Friday at 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And the other awardees that we have this year, the emerging leaders and the tribal trailblazers will have their opportunity to walk the stage on Saturday. So this ceremony will ask for all of you to sit in the front of the stage to be accessible to accept your awards. And you will each be introduced, and we'll have about 2 to 3 minutes to say a little bit about yourself, what brought you to USBC, what work you do, your communities, or anything that you would like to share in those 2 to 3 minutes. We will also be doing group photos, and which is why we do need everyone to attend both ceremony days. Am I missing anything, Kinkini? Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think you got it all. The one thing that I'd add is that if you do have family visiting, we know that they would like to be part of this ceremony. So we invite you to bring, if you have family with you, to bring, they are invited to be a part of the ceremony as well, and we'll be sure to welcome them.
Definitely. Thank you. Okay, and for the other events on Friday, we do have a special interest meetings from 5:15 to 6:15, and you are all more than welcome to join your identity caucus groups. From 6 to 8, you will be having dinner on your own, and we have a really exciting new event from 8 to 9:30 p.m. where you will all be getting to know each other, and you're definitely invited to join us for that as well. Is there anything you wanted to add, Kinkini?
The special interest meeting groups are where we meet based on our racial identity or ethnic identity. So when you look in your program book or when you check out the online program, you'll see that we have caucusing by African American, Native, Latino group, there's an Asian American Pacific Islander group, there's an LGBTQI group. So as much as for the rest of the time we are in mixed company, the Identity Caucus is a very key part of the conference learning and networking part. This is a place where folks can get together in your own, the identity groups, and process what they learned, reflect, have a safe space to share how their experience has been. So please feel free to look at where your Identity Caucus group meeting is happening. It's informal. There'll be a host in the group that will be facilitating the conversation. So we hope to see you there. All right. And then we wanted to share with you that this award category is a very special one. this is the first time that we are doing the Cultural Changemaker Awards, and the funding for your awards has come through a partnership that the USPC has with the Association of Maternal Child Health Programs, or AMCHIP. This is funded by the CDC, and we are so excited. This project is called Supporting Optimal Environments for Early Childhood Nutrition. And this is a year-long effort engaging community leaders in identifying and addressing issues with breastfeeding and all areas of early child feeding, and what we all need to know to create community support systems and environmental change systems that support breastfeeding, infant feeding, and early childhood nutrition and feeding in all of its different scope. So your wisdom and the work that you do is really important to inform this project. We, when we got your applications, the review committee that included CDC were really blown away by the work that you're doing, and the purpose of the engagement with you is to learn from you and to inform the larger nutrition projects so that the state health departments and local health departments can do better and can improve the kind of services and resources available for different cultural groups. One of the things we'll also be asking you is to see what kind of resources are out there already for your communities and your groups, and where is the gap, what's missing, how are you managing, how do you do your work, what would you be needing more to bring the families the support that they need. Miriam, do you want to move to the next slide, please? And this slide tells you a little bit more about the goal of this project. And the goal is to use a lens of food justice and to create a collective action plan for national, state, and local organizations to advance optimal childhood nutrition. And the exciting part of this is that your input and your perspectives about your cultural groups is really going to be the foundation and framework for developing this national plan. So we will be using very, very specific principles of food justice, and looking at what kind of systems and environmental changes are needed to support through pregnancy and through the ages 0 to 24 months of age, and to look at all of the surrounding factors that shape childhood nutrition and childhood health. So we really hope to get your input on this. This is just a start of our partnership. And while we get together on Thursday evening and discuss this, we will be having follow-up calls with you. And there'll also be a stakeholder meeting later that we will be including your work in that as well. So more to come. We'll hear more about it and discuss more about it during our meeting on Thursday, the 13th. Next slide, please. Okay, so ending with, we've given you a lot of information today, but we'll be sending you the recording of this session as well as the email. Soon, you will be getting a logistics email about that you will have all of the information that you need to get ready to participate fully in the NBCC. I also wanted to let you know that for the first time, the National Breastfeeding Coalition's conference and convening is also providing continuing education units, and we will be providing this to you for free. There's usually a fee for that, but for all of our awardees, the CEUs, the continuing education is free. You will need to sign in every day, and so if you want to sign up for continuing education, be sure to speak with Miriam and see her at the front desk. So for those of you coming to Advocacy Day, you'll get an email about Advocacy Day. You will also get an email about membership meetings. So look for 3 different emails, one for in the conference, the Advocacy Day, and the membership meeting. Definitely keep Thursday evening focus group on your checklist of to-dos, not to forget. The award ceremony preparation, Miriam and I are here to help you and support you in any way that you want. All of the side events and meetings, we hope you will make the most of your time in Bethesda and really soak in the all of the opportunities that are there. It's a vibrant and really diverse learning community, and we hope you and we are so honored to have you be part of that. So we really hope that you will be able to participate to the full capacity. We also will be sending you some of the project details and ideas, so we hope you'll have some time over the next week to think about some engagement ideas and how you might want to be engaged in this breastfeeding early child nutrition project. So look out for that in the email that you get. So again, next email, next slide, please. And be sure to connect with us. There are many ways. Subscribe to the weekly Wednesday Wire. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. If you are a coalition, be sure to find your coalition in the coalition's directory. Join the coalition's Learning Connection. That's a great way to get to know people and to share resources. So if you're not already part of that, be sure to sign up for that. And of course, the NBCC Facebook page as well. So with that, thank you so much. Next slide, please, for all that you do in your community. And we look forward, we can't wait for you we can't wait to see you in DC next week. Safe travels, everyone. And do know that Miriam, Camille, and I are here to help you and support you during that. So you have our emails. If you have any questions, be sure to give us a call and or send us email, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you again next week.